I think we are live, people.
We here, baby. What
Man,
up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Everyone, thank you all so much for tuning in. Sorry that we started late again this week. We had to get this Kool-Aid guy ready to go. No, I'm totally kidding. I was totally the reason why we were late, but that's fine.
nah,
Welcome each and everybody to the Woodward Pistons Table Talk, baby. Each and every week coming here talking all things Detroit Pistons, talking the world of Detroit basketball.
let's
Joined
go,
as
man.
always. First of all,
Basketball is in the
hold on.
air,
Hold on.
man.
I didn't do that justice. Hold on. Let's do that again.
See,
It's
bro, I
not
let
just
you off the
Detroit
hook.
basketball. It's Detroit basketball.
There you
Bro,
go.
I am one of your hosts, Sean Murphy,
I
joined
like
as always by Detroit Kool-Aid, the godfather of
Hey,
Woodward Pistons, one of the pillars of the
appreciate
Pistons
you, brother.
community and Pistons Twitter. Also joined by Lexi, aka Go Blue Lexi, aka one of the hosts of her own podcast now. Lexi, tell the world about your pod.
It's hosted at blueby90.com. Michigan athletics, kind of lifestyle. I'll be touching base on some different topics throughout, but just subscribe there. And I do have a new host, Josh. You can find him on Twitter, Josh Ogdale. Gonna be exciting. Gonna be talking some college football and college basketball coming up here, so I'm ready.
Absolutely. We can't wait for that. Also joined by video editor extraordinaire, World War Pistons, our guy, Carl Collins. Carl, what's going on, man? What do you got?
Not much.
I know you got some flames in the chamber ready to go for when the season starts up.
Destination restoration.
let's
So.
go.
Woo-wee.
Man.
I can't wait for
Oh,
that. And
boy.
speaking of Destination Restoration, joined this week by the father, the new father, our guy, Downtown Deuce. We got to give congratulations. Obviously, last week
What,
was missing.
what is
because-
it, bro? Papa
Thanks,
Deuce,
bro.
downtown Papa.
Yeah, Papa Deuce.
Papa D,
Hey,
Papa
man.
Deuce, father
not Papa
downtown.
Doc though.
Right. I'll let everybody else give me a name, but I'm just glad to be back with y'all. I know I wasn't here last week, so it's good to be back with the fam.
Yeah, how
Bro,
dare you miss? You
Yeah.
for an inexcusable
Priorities.
reason, too.
My priorities
birth
are
of
all
your-
out of whack.
Dude, yeah, exactly. The birth of your child, like, man, we're gonna have to talk about this off pod because this is just unacceptable. No, totally
When I look
kidding.
back, I'll be like, yeah, man, I definitely shouldn't have been there. I should have been here.
he had the
Oh.
nerve to even call me and let me know, like, hey, I'm not going to be on tonight because I had the birth of my child. I was like, what?
Oh, man,
Dude,
you were
yeah,
even
yeah.
honest
Like-
about it. Wow, that's unbelievable.
I was
That's-
debating.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, we got a whole lot to talk about today because yesterday and this
Hey.
week was the long awaited, long anticipated release of the NBA schedule. And guys, 2 months from today is the beginning of the NBA season. 2 months from today.
Can you
60
say they were like
days.
special effects or something, bro? Please.
Dude,
Yeah.
we are 2 months away from the NBA season.
I'm just
It's
Hey.
gonna be
rocking.
absolutely great.
I
I'm
like
just
this
rocking,
ending.
man.
It sounds like I'm the announcer from Space Jam. It's like I'm ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the Toon Squad. Like, it feels like I'm
Yeah.
about to introduce Bugs
I
Bunny
like it.
walking in. It's great. But we got some opening night. We're gonna have some pretty awesome games. Kool-Aid, if you want to put this up on the screen, we are announced that
Yeah.
opening night we're going to be having the Philadelphia 76ers at the Boston Celtics, as well as the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James at the Golden State Warriors for their upcoming ring ceremony. So those are going to be the games that we are getting opening night for the NBA. But for the Pistons in particular, we have some pretty awesome games coming up on the schedule. Particularly, we are going to be opening our season against Paulo Banchero and the Orlando Magic specifically. And this is going to be our first 10 games. If you want to put this up here on the screen, our guy, you can go over to FH Court Pod for more Pistons content and NBA content as well on Twitter. Our guy Naranjan put together this really awesome graphic. Shout out to him, by the way.
dope.
He's been doing
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah.
work. But
Yeah.
this is going to be our first 10 games. We will be at home against Orlando, and then we'll be going on the road for a 3-game stretch to the Knicks, the Pacers, and the Wizards. And then the next 6 games, we have the Hawks twice, the Warriors, the Bucks twice, and Cleveland. And I know Kool-Aid, one thing you were talking about with Rod Beard, and something that he's been mentioning quite a bit on Twitter as well, not just on Twitter, but also on the What We're Pistons show, or the What We're Pistons podcast, is the importance of getting off to a good start and what your schedule is for the first 20 games. And just judging off of what the first 10 games are going to look like for the Detroit Pistons, they're by no means getting off to an easy start.
No, not at all, man. I think the first couple games, they are some sneaky good teams here, man. Orlando is coming in much improved, obviously, with the number 1 draft pick. Indiana and Washington, man. Hey, hold on.
Hey.
Hey.
We have to
Hey, our boy, Ashton. Shout out.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, we got
to
squeeze you, tickle you.
Love you.
Always got that ready to go, 100%. But
Bro, let's go.
I love it.
but
Let's
for
go.
real
Shout out to
though,
Ashton, for real.
but for real though, looking at this beginning schedule, I mean, let's start with that opening night matchup. The last 2 number 1 picks, Paulo Banchero and Cade Cunningham, matching up, going at it 1-on-1. Guys, that's going to be an awesome. First of all, we're not getting that on national television, which is a damn shame, because that game should be nationally televised. Getting to be able to see Cade and Paulo go at it opening night.
Oh, opening night.
It's disrespectful, like not having nothing
Yep.
of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Pistons, no games on ESPN. They'll have 1 game on TNT, and then they'll have 3 games on NBA TV. I could see this being a team that could be flexed into more nationally televised games as the season goes on. But yet again, it looks like we're not going to be on nationally televised games. But hey, you know what? That's okay, because we're going to be one of the most tuned in League Pass teams this season. So,
Yeah. Just to
Boy,
add on to
Ashton
that real
ready,
quick,
bro.
John.
Yeah, he's
Let's go.
He's
Just to add on-
let's go.
dude,
Let's add on
Ashton, if
to
you
what
want to
Sean
come
said
in
about-
and talk, man, you're always welcome. But
yeah.
we
Come
go-
on in.
What
Yeah,
Sean was
if
saying
it-
about the schedule, about no ESPN games. Shout out to Cannon. He made a very interesting comment on the What We're Pistons post that Kool-Aid made. He said, at least we don't have to watch NBA Countdown.
Yeah.
We gotta watch
that's
Stephen. We will have to watch Stephen A. Smith talk about Cade Cunningham's low motor.
dude,
Bro.
if we're talking about a silver lining, that is a silver lining and a half right there, 100%.
For sure.
But another thing that was revealed was also the nights that the Pistons are going to be wearing the Teals. So now we officially know that on these dates that the Pistons are going to be wearing the Teal twice against the Nets. We're going to be wearing them against the Hawks on the 28th. I personally am going to make sure I'm there for that Teal night on the 30th against the Warriors. So I know I'm definitely going to be there for that. I'm sure Ashton's tuned in. Ashton, I'm going to be there opening night as well. So if you're there, I know we're definitely going to have to meet up and make that wild, because opening night we're going to have to turn up.
We need to have some meetups
gonna be
too.
lit.
Like I want to meet up with you guys for some games. Me and Jake come down and stuff. And
Yeah. No, we're definitely gonna do some stuff, because I know Mr. Everything, man, Jeff's birthday is the day after. We're talking about being down there heavy.
Hey.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Definitely being down there heavy. Hey,
Let's do
shout out
that.
Yeah,
to Patty
man.
Grimes, one of the regulars. But yeah, we're gonna be down there heavy. We got some stuff planned for this season.
Yeah, but in addition,
I'm excited to see that Hornets game. That's gonna be like the ultimate matchup wise, like looks wise. So
well, even then, Jalen Green's going to be coming back to. He's going to be coming to Detroit, and he's going to be having to play on a Teal night too. I'm glad they're making that a. I'm glad they're making that a special event as well. So
can't wait to watch Cade cross him over in Teal too.
Again. Ooh.
Yo, isn't it cool
I like
to have
where
an
your head is at.
organization that's clued in, though? That's not shying away from what we all know. That's when your organization is tuned in to what's going on the floor, what's going on in the front office, as well as what the fans are talking about too. Look, they can control like a lot of different things. The players got to control how they play. but you can give us a little bit of fan service, and that's fan service. I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it, man. Give me the Teal in these games that give us a little bit of edge. Like
Yeah.
I like it. We see these other teams go out there and do that. I'm not gonna lie, man. As a Michigan fan, Michigan State has rolled out with some uniforms and absolutely done some work in it. And I'm just, man, you can just see the way they roll.
The script white is just one of the best. I know.
Classic.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
saying
Sorry,
it,
I'm
but
jealous.
yes,
Yeah,
it
I'm
absolutely
sorry.
is.
I'm jealous of it,
Yeah.
and I just had
Yeah.
to put it in there. Just
That script white is.
yeah.
Ooh,
Boy, that Phil jersey
say
still
it.
got us talking. Look at Sean.
Especially when I got to watch Cassius Winston in it. 'Cause I'll tell you, Cassius is my just, I love that guy. I loved him at Michigan State, and everyone always hated me for it. But
Hold on.
Yeah, the guy was definitely a stud. But I actually have right here.
just incredible.
I actually have here as well. So Kool-Aid alluded to it a little bit earlier as well, but I was actually pulling up the strength of schedule overall throughout the league. There's actually this graphic right here that gives a representation of where the Pistons rank in comparison to everything else. As we lost Kool-Aid as he just went,
You're
I
just
was like,
bye.
yeah, I thought he was going to share the screen. Then he was just like,
I don't think you
oh,
wanna talk about
interesting.
that.
I'm going to leave. But
My bad.
no, you're good. We were like, oh, cool. No, but we got as you can see right here. Let me share my screen again so I can show a bigger version of it. But we got here the strength of schedule. One thing that you can notice for the Pistons is that it starts out as, even though those first 10 games relatively our strength of schedule is lower compared to the rest of the league, but then as the season goes on and as it ends, it gets pretty difficult there as the season winds up. And another thing to note, very, very top heavy, very, very front heavy as far as back-to-backs this season is. Like before New Year's, like a lot of those back-to-backs are going to be towards the beginning of the season. So overall, I mean, the Pistons definitely didn't get the easiest end of the schedule again, but I mean, that's this league, man. You're not gonna get an easy schedule any night. You're not having an easy matchup. So
look, man, I was on heavyweights today, and we were talking about the angst and the how we felt about this team only getting one national television game. And realistically, I believe this is a team, like you mentioned, bro. They're gonna earn it. They're gonna earn it.
Yep.
I look at the roster. I look at the East. I recognize that we're supposed to treat this like we would with old Pistons teams, but it's just not the same. I'm going to be one of those guys that continue to champion and bang the drum that Cade Cunningham is just as special as some of these other guys we've seen come before him. And if you're going to have the national TV games and camera on for guys like LaMelo Ball, bro, come on.
Yeah.
You got to have it on for Cade Cunningham. That's absolute disrespect. I understand if you want to say put some separation between someone like LeBron James and Cade Cunningham. But, dog, Cade Cunningham led the rookies in how many different categories? 3 or 4 categories? At the end of the season.
Categories.
At the end of the season, bro, they were saying, yep, he's the one that's going to be the MVP from this class. He's the one that's going to be the all-star from this class. Blah, blah, blah. Yay, we know he's the guy. And then you get to this season and just go, who? Like, bro, I keep saying it, and I was saying it before. Shame on these people who are doing this because Cade Cunningham is a real deal. He's the number 1 draft pick from a year ago, bro, and you can't get him and Paolo on national TV.
Facts.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Right.
Detroit was everybody, man.
Did you guys see the quality of like there was this chart that came out this last week that essentially showed the quality of looks that rookies got their teammates as far as like compared to like other people in their class. So like this was the volume of passing creation to the quality of the looks.
That looks like head and shoulders above.
Yeah, and look, yeah, and as you can see, here's what stands out. So like, a guy like Scotty Barnes can get his teammates a pretty good look, but he's not necessarily getting those guys a great look all the time. Who are the 2 guys up in the very top right corner for the highest quality looks in the highest volume? Cade Cunningham and Josh Giddey.
What systems do they belong to? Pretty similar systems, pretty similar backgrounds, huh?
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it, that they both come from that Presti tree of that Weaver-like tree, one would say. It's interesting. By the way,
High IQ, man.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Jalen Green.
Exactly.
I mean, he's over here. I mean, he creates good looks. He just doesn't
Where's
do them that
Waldo?
often.
Wait, where's Waldo? Where'd you say?
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's hard to look. You got to zoom in
find.
quite a bit. I know.
I see Cade.
Yeah, I see Cade. Cade sticks out above the rest.
Yep.
You just got to look
Not an
right
accident.
through the middle. Yeah. Isaiah Livers on this chart as well, by the way, above average.
That's
on
right.
here,
It's good to see.
Yeah.
Lacey love that.
Not surprising. Come on.
Not
Real ones
surprising at
know.
all.
But to see Cade like up above, like heading above everyone else, like it's just, and again, this is just, and the amount of potential assists Cade had last year too. I think he was like #1 potential assist for rookies, and it wasn't even close. So like the amount of assists he would have had if guys actually could hit some shots, and he had some more teammates that could make some open shots, especially having guys like Alec Burks on the roster this year.
Yeah.
That assist number is going to go up. Just saying.
It is.
Yep. I'm excited about the Knicks players that we have on the roster, actually. I don't know why, but just the more and more and more that I keep looking at it and the ways that they can fit into this team. And I know it's not a part of any of our planned topics, but are we underestimating these guys at all? Burks, Knox, Noel.
I think we're definitely looking past them.
Yeah, Alec Burks really stands out to me. Every time he played this last year, he kind of
he's
went
a
to
piston
work.
killer.
He's a piston killer, man. He goes to work every time. High volume, not high volume, but very efficient from the 3-point line. Always makes the right play. He's just a good guy. He's not going to hurt your team. He's always going to come in and make an impact.
Yeah, I agree with that. When I look at what Rodney Magruder brought to the table and I look at the players they brought in, I was cool with Rodney as the vet, but I believe some of these players are a little bit better than that. Like, I like that. I want to see the improvement all the way around. Like, I don't want to just see them running out the same old. Hey, shout out Kyle Metz.
Yes.
Kyle's
Kyle's a real one.
Yeah, definitely is, man. Definitely is. Gonna have to get him on here. Kyle, bro, when do you have time? Jump on the table talk.
Let us know.
Let's go.
He's putting in this these 20 minutes per game with KC. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, the more and more we just kind of look at it, digest it, think about KC, think about the type of player that Burks is shown to be. Yeah. Shoot, man, we'll get Kyle in on here now. Hey, I'm excited about Burks. Noel is another one that has me low-key really excited. I just want to see if he can stay healthy, but the tenacity, man, just the way that he attacks the rim on a defensive perspective. I don't think we've had a player like that here in a while, since maybe Jason Maxill. Who's the last guy that really was trying to eat everything that came into the paint?
Yeah,
I don't know
what. In a long time.
The thing for Noel is the veteran presence. I think he brings for our young bigs. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing from him.
Yeah, he always seems to know where to be defensively.
Right.
We have a lot of guys who have potential to be great defenders, a lot of athleticism, but I think he can really help with positioning, timing, angles, things of that nature. So I think his veteran presence, like you said, Carl, is going to be huge, man.
Yeah.
And I know he's dealt with some health stuff over the last couple of years too. So I just hope to see him healthy and available on the court and just be able to have a consistent role this year. Just be able to bounce back and be on the court.
Hey, you see Detroit Beastie? He's only here for Lexi. I ain't mad. She be dropping knowledge, so I ain't mad at that.
Hey, Detroit Beastie, Woodward Betts, man, in the building. Good. What's up, man? Go ahead and check them out, y'all. Definitely. Woodward Betts. We're gonna have to get you guys on before the Pistons season starts as well.
Yeah, Scott too, because I keep missing. I'm trying to join him on there occasionally, and it's just not working out. I'm like, rain check.
Gotta get Scott on, man. Dog, that's the homie. I like their passion. I like what they're trying to do. I like that that they're about the team. Kyle, check the DMs, bro.
Yeah, man, these pictures that Woodward just posted that with like Cade Garden stuff, like Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. Give me
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me pull those up right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
seeing
Do
there was some
Give-
NBA run
You
happening.
know who else was there?
Did you
All
see?
sorts of
Yeah,
guys.
Ivy was there.
Mhm.
Kojo was
Kojo.
there. Duran
Kojo
was there.
Yeah, boy.
Dude,
Duran was
yeah,
there.
yeah. Most
Oh, Darren, I
importantly,
didn't see Darren was there.
Kojo
Yeah.
was in the building, confirmed by James Edwards III. But there he is,
Oh,
man, in all
Kojo!
of his greatness. Man,
Squad, the whole
Kojo is
squad.
in
Now
the
it's
building.
official.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Seeing
King would be
Ivy
proud.
there, seeing Cade there, Garden Curry. Also,
There
we
it
got
is.
Jalen
There
Duren
it is.
getting some run, Garden Curry as well, man. So seeing,
What?
What?
yeah,
Uh-huh. That's what I was talking about. It's
Ooh,
interesting
you
to
talk
see.
about bigs that can guard
There
the
we
perimeter.
go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say, bro. It just I really would like to see some footage if possible, just because if we can switch like that, I mean, of
Mhm.
course, you don't want
Yeah.
anybody that big on an island with Steph, obviously, but
Right.
the potential to be able to get out on the perimeter to switch like that, if he can do that type of stuff, we're gonna be we're gonna be
Yes,
in
Yeah.
good
I
shape for a
agree.
long time.
and
Right.
hey, if there's anyone to be getting work in against and having that practice on, it's Steph Curry because man,
Facts.
talk about the hardest guys in the league to guard in the perimeter.
That's
Steph
it.
is the list.
Bro, that's perfect
Mhm.
defensive position. I hear my coach in my head right now, like, you see that? That's picture perfect defense. Bro, look at that. Against Steph Curry. I like it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
less hands,
Yeah,
though.
bro.
Less hands.
Mhm.
No fouls next.
Yeah. And even Duran, he's
Mhm.
got that solid
Mhm.
positioning too, man. He's tuned in. He's locked in.
Bro, we
On
need
that end.
basketball. I think
Yeah. I'm
I
just
know you
like,
like
yo,
Tyrone.
got any
You like Tyrone
basketball,
Biggums.
man?
oh,
Like,
guys, dog. Like, it's
Oh.
straight
Yeah.
up. My man said, "Can we all agree Corey and Magruder was not next level for our bench last year?" And it's like that's what I'm saying. Troy went.
Mhm.
He made
Mhm.
some what I believe to be marginal improvements to get Kevin Knox and Burks in here to be a little bit better at the guard position. Maybe a slightly younger. And like you guys said, Burks as a shooter. When Jeff and I were looking at
Yeah.
the overall team stats, and we were talking about how, we're looking at what we believe Sadiq and Cade need to do to improve one area of improvement. We looked at shooting for Cade, and we were like, why is this percentage in like the top 4 of the whole team?
Yep.
You know what I mean? This team needs shooting desperately.
Mhm.
Desperately. And if Burks
Yes.
can shoot from 3, he's going to be literally one of the best bench players already. Already. Like just to start the season. So
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
like, I'm looking forward to what these guys are going to bring, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, without a doubt. And getting back to, to Ashton's comment earlier, I mean, if we go to 17-23 in the first 40 games, we on track for playoffs or playing, that is going to be the key is what Detroit does coming out the gate. They are going to have to come out hot in order to put themselves in that position to succeed.
Yep. Hey, man,
Does-
look, it's
Does he
everybody.
not realize? Okay, go ahead.
You go ahead because I know what you're going to say already. You
So
say it.
I think everybody knows Dwayne Casey's record against Toronto.
Yeah, I won't
I
go
love
say
you
it.
guys,
But yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
How do we tell them? How do we tell them?
How many games has it been? Like, look, bro, if there's been anything, it's been the Raptors games for us during these dark years. If there's
Yep.
been anything,
Exactly.
we've at
That's
least been in there at those games deep, like dub,
right.
like
Yeah.
straight up.
When I look at the
Yeah.
schedule, it's like, oh, it's the Raptors. All right, well, we're gonna win. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
one
if
game we
there's
got.
one team I'm going to bet on, betting the Pistons winning is win the Raptors playing. All right,
Right.
cool.
So
Yeah,
weird.
that's cash money. That's cash money.
Hey,
Kyle.
welcome,
Kyle
man,
Metz.
Mr. Kyle. You know what? Sean Murphy, man. Let's do this some
I'll
Jeff.
we're speaking of cash money. We got our guy, Mr. Kyle Metz.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
Man.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Dog.
I like that. I can get used to that.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, man, everybody goes on the pod has to hear this at least once. It's exhilarating, man.
Got to bring
I'm
it
still-
out, man.
Where's my
100%.
Superman cape at? Do that again, Sean.
You're just like, yeah.
It
Yeah, just
empowers
throw all the
me.
intros back from the beginning. Just do them all.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
Sir, Kyle, man. Welcome, bro.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I couldn't turn it down. I was chilling on my couch, and I was like, all right, I'll hop in for a little bit.
Bro, tell us about these. Tell us about Burks, man. Tell us about Burks.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys said a lot of the same stuff that I would say, but he's a vet who can shoot. He can play 1 through 3 when he needs to. I mean, he's mostly a 2 guard, but he definitely got some point guard minutes at the Knicks. So, like, he's gonna. Casey loves him some 3 guard sets, and Casey loves him some vets, right? Like, that's just what it is. And so, if that man doesn't get 20, 25 minutes a night, he probably got traded. Like, it just makes sense.
Or what Casey is this?
Right.
It wouldn't be. It's highly unlikely, man. But I don't know, man. I the more and more I keep looking at the numbers, looking at the highlights and such, I'm like, I think we might be underestimating these guys if they're healthy. Right. Seriously, like Knox. I keep hearing people saying Knox still has game. The Knicks were just bad for his mojo. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what this team is gonna be. It's to me, it feels like they could be, max like 35 wins at best. I have them at 32.
Could they be more though? Could they be more? I mean,
I think they could be more.
That's what I'm saying.
Because depending on how our guys develop internally, like who knows the steps. Like if Sadiq and Cade take like I mean, the likelihood that they'll both take huge steps. I mean, it's probably not likely, but if they do, I mean, who knows?
What teams have taken that jump? Like, didn't Charlotte kind of do that?
Did the Hawks do that? Cavs did it last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Cavs did last year.
The
Hornets were needing Bridges.
What was their win differential? What'd they go from?
Which team?
Cavs.
Yeah, let's look that up.
That's a good question. They took a huge jump last year.
Yeah, I'm going to continue trying to think of the different teams. Is anyone?
They had 22 wins. They had 22 wins in the 21-22 or 2021 season, and they went up to 44. So they 22
they
wins.
Made the jump.
Yeah.
Jump.
Holy.
Yeah, that's huge.
Doubling their
that was Darius's 3rd season last year, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Darius's 3rd season. They also got a full season of Jared Allen. They also brought in, a Lauri Markkanen and Evan Mobley. So, there was a lot of things that led into that.
Yeah.
You know what also helps?
And Kevin Love decided to play.
Yeah. I don't know how they did with injuries, but injuries killed us last year. Like if we got consistency and got to play together, who knows? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know how to gauge this because I believe, and I don't care if people think I'm crazy for it or whatever. I believe Cade Cunningham is a difference maker, and they gave him some help. They gave him a little bit more help. Mm-hmm. He's a difference maker. He is that deal. He's that guy. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm tired of people looking like almost treating the situation like he's just kind of an all-star. I believe he should be looked at the same way we were looking at those guys at the top of that draft that Darko was in. I don't know why it doesn't feel like people are really saying, yo, Cade is a problem. Yeah, they might have had a sluggish first year, but he's a problem. Like, I don't remember people doing this with guys like LeBron and D Wade when they entered the league. It's like they gave them their due. Cade led the rookie, that we've said several times in multiple stats, bro. And it's just starting to really, really, really feel like, especially when you look at the free throws and the lack thereof, it's just like, this is just disrespect now. This guy is the real deal.
Look, it comes back to what even Cade said in his Slam interview, right? No one cares unless you're winning games in this league, and that's just the reality of it. Whether that's right or not, that's just what it is. So now this season's going to be the opportunity for him to come in and actually, prove it and earn that right and actually, get that recognition. And, it's not completely unforeseen for guys to, come in and, have great seasons and not get that recognition just because they're not in a big market or they're not doing a whole lot of things. I think, I think a lot of the last season, I think there was just a lot too with COVID that was still lingering that made that an even more unprecedented season. And I think we forget how much like how many different players we had and like that whole like health and safety protocol stretch in December, like just all the things that team had to overcome. Like we're almost going to get more wins next season by default just because there's going to be things that aren't going to be on that team's plate like there was last season. So
I feel like Kelly Olynyk being healthy would have just helped us. If we talked about the lack of 3-point shooting on this team, and just him being healthy does a little bit more for this team and for the spacing. And it's not like he was going to be playing guard. We didn't have a big that was going to be able to do consistently what he brought to the table, and we saw the difference that he did make in certain spurts, in certain games. After they got healthy and they were playing together, this team, they looked good.
Yeah, well, it turns out going from having a rotation of Isaiah Stewart and Trey Lyles to Isaiah Stewart, Kelly Olynyk, and Marvin Bagley made us a little bit of a better team. Who would have thought?
True.
Of course.
True.
I mean, we can't clown Trey Lyles too much because that man played some hero minutes at the 5. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I'm not clowning him, but like, no, I'm just saying, like, he worked hard, but like, he's not a 5. He's just not a 5. Like, you're asking a guy who probably should be at his true best playing 3 or 4 to go out and consistently play your backup 5 and guard bigs in the post. It's just not easy for anyone, no matter who you are. Even if you're LeBron, it's not easy,
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even clowning on him. That's just saying that's just a tough situation to be in.
Yep. Hey, MK, if that was the case, this is the year that it shouldn't be needed. They added a playmaker in Ivy. Killian Hayes should be taking a step forward. If not, it'll be visibly clear. Hey, it's time to do something different. This team is added. They've added, like I said, the Knicks players. I know some people are still saying that it's question marks still to be seen. I think that they're going to come in and be professionals and contribute the way that they've always contributed. It's going to be something, man. I look forward to seeing Cade being able to run the pick and roll with, knockdown shooters or players that can not just shoot. Kelly Olynyk is a little bit different. He's a guy that when he pump fakes, guess what? The defender's jumping or biting on that. And Kelly O can pass. It doesn't always look like he has it under complete control, but for some reason, nobody can steal it from him. I don't get it. I don't get that long, just kind of out there, but it works, man. Those Knicks players and Kelly O, man, they're going to be, I think, these kind of pseudo X factors for what this team is going to be.
Here's the one thing I will say. The first time this season, the Pistons check in Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, and Cade Cunningham all at the same time. I don't know about any of you guys, but that's going to be the first moment this season. Like, I'm already going to be strapped in. But like, when that happens, I'm sitting up, I'm leaning in,
You have to douse me with water, bro.
Volume, and I am watching very closely what's happening because that is going to be fireworks.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
You know what? That's it, man. That 3-guard. I want to see that 3-guard rotation.
Woo!
I want to see what Killian, Cade, and Ivy are going to look like. I want to see Cade at the off-ball position, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to see him catch the ball on the wing from Killian, sauce somebody, and then throw the lob to Ivy.
I think that'll be a post game 20 thing we'll see. I think we're going to see that closer to halfway through the season. Yep. Just because I don't think they'll want to give Ivy and them guys every opportunity to like really feel comfortable before they do that. I could be wrong, but I think you see those 3-guard rotations with Kojo still a little bit, or Burks. Don't hate me. But let's be honest, like, we know what we're dealing with. So I could see that being a halfway through the season though, getting some of those rotations. They're definitely gonna want to see it because that's how they're gonna know what to do with Killian. Like, they're gonna have to see it.
Yep. And you know what? Since we do have Kyle on, I wanted to talk about, Sean, what do you think about this Pistons versus Magic, and not only the matchup, but the roster?
Yeah, man, it's a great question. So first of all, I think Orlando's in a really good spot. I think they, I think we all on draft night were a little surprised when they selected Paulo instead of Jabari Smith Jr. just because they had done all this work to make everyone believe that was the direction they were going in. And so, but watching Summer League, watching in retrospect, Paolo's special. Now, having said that, if you're asking me, who I think is ultimately going to be, the better player, I mean, if you're asking me like what the better situation is, I mean, I trust more in the front office of Troy Weaver and what they've done here in what I do in Orlando. I like the pieces that Orlando has. In my opinion, I feel like Orlando's a year away from being where Detroit's at. I feel like they need another draft, go out and get some more talent in order for this team to really be threatening. They could go get if they somehow go get a Victor Wembanyama to add alongside all these guys, then that's unreal. But I think for them, I think Jalen Suggs, what's his trajectory going to be? I think he had a very similar start to his career to Killian in the sense that it maybe wasn't what people were hoping for, or what people were expecting. I think Mo Wagner is a guy who's a really solid rookie who came in and played really good basketball. Is a guy that he reminds me of Clay in the way that he plays basketball. He's a really good shooter, a good scorer. I don't know like overall like his ceiling, like what his growth, like he's that type of prospect where he might be a little closer to what his ceiling is going to be than what some other guys are. Like he might not be like an all-star, but he's a solid player, and that's a guy that anyone wants in their team. And Paolo's definitely a great centerpiece. But I think what's ultimately going to lead to that is what they can put around Paolo, like what's going to be that complementary star. They have guys there like Markelle Fultz who are still an X factor. They have guys like Mo Bamba who are still on the roster and are still X factors. So they're deep. They have talent. I still think they're gonna definitely be one of those bottom three teams in the East this year. I think Detroit will be better, in my opinion. I think ultimately, Cade is going to be able to do a little bit more from his stance to actually help the team win games in the interim. I think Cade's far more of a playmaker than Paolo, and Paolo's a natural bucket getter and a scorer, and he can play make. Obviously just not to Cade's level. So I think overall, I think Detroit's just a year ahead because they've had a year head start in their rebuild. I think both teams have a lot of reasons to be excited, but if you're asking me who I'm a little more excited for, I am more excited for Detroit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Well, Sean, you said it, Sean, because we have the guy. We've had the guy for a year.
Yep.
The Magic are just now getting the guy, so it's going to take time for them. They've got pieces. And it's going to take time for those guys to learn how to build around that centerpiece. We've had a year, even though Cade was hurt at the beginning of the year, we've had time to kind of figure out how to build around Cade Cunningham. And now with an offseason and a training camp now, we can kind of continue that restoration as the Magic are starting from day one.
Yeah. His first training camp too, by the way. Remember, Cade got injured like day one of training camp last year. So a full training camp for these guys to be able to come in. And I mean, if we're just predicting for the game, I think one thing that's going to help a ton is Troy having that home court advantage. And I think you said it, not only did the Pistons learn how to like build around Cade, but they learned how to win games with Cade in year one. They learned how to have an identity. They're starting to learn what their identity is and what it means for the Pistons to win games when Cade's on the court. So I think with Orlando, they still got to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah. And with Orlando, historically, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong. Sean, you said something that's very true. They are always talented. They always seem to have like good young talent, but they never seem to be able to put it together.
Yeah. They were in a very similar situation to us over the last decade, in my opinion, where, after Dwight Howard left, after their great like finals run happened, also shout out Easy. Got to show love, boy. Shout out. Make sure you're watching Will We're Heavyweights 5 days a week, 5 to 7. But in addition, the thing is that, the thing is that made me completely lose my train of thought. But anyway.
Y'all get it to 15 likes so speak easy. Sports doesn't pass out. Shout out Easy, man. Heavyweight. It's good.
Shout out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if he's holding his breath for 15 minutes, or it's 15 likes. Yeah, please don't make it 15 minutes. He'll be dead.
Here's what I really want to know. Lexi, who are you more excited about? I mean, let's be honest. It's really the Orlando Michigans down there. So let's
Yeah.
The Orlando
So
the
can-
Orlando Wolverines.
Yeah,
That's a great
so-
question.
It
Mm.
is. I think that Franz has like a bigger ceiling than what his brother has, as a higher ceiling wise, whatever. But I am like Paulo. I'm excited to see. I really am because I think, especially how he came, stretching out there in like the last half of the season and really pushing his way to being the number one pick, like out of nowhere, basically. But I'll be interested to see how he can lead in the way that like Cade did, coming into a part where it's like, yeah, you got some pieces, but you still got a while to go, and you get a guy, a number one pick from Duke. You got a lot on your shoulders. You got a lot of expectations and stuff. But I think that he's a great player. I loved watching him play. I'm going to be really intrigued to see how he kind of takes the reins here and goes forward. But always let the rival stuff go when they go pro, because I can appreciate talent no matter where it's at.
So is Paolo finally like there, trying not to strike out like Aaron Gordon, Tobias Harris? Paolo, we finally got
Yeah.
one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think that's a better than those previous names you mentioned. I think that he's got a bigger ceiling and he's far more talented and ball, just handling and scoring. So it'll be intriguing.
Yeah, he can be one of those elite scorers in the game someday. Like he could be one of those guys that we look at. Like I think when we're like about 5, 6, 7 years down the road, I think we could very much be looking at a league that consistently sees Paulo and Cade both on those all NBA teams, like all NBA first, all NBA second. Like I think Cade and Paulo are going to be two names that we're just going to be seeing down there routinely for years to come.
I think the difference too, though, is between the two of them is I'm not sure that Paulo can necessarily make everyone better like Cade has the ability to.
Cade's way more of a natural leader than Paulo.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's definitely a good
But
point.
I think they actually play a similar game, though. Like but Paulo's like a legitimate 6'10", so I agree. Like I think play style wise, they do a lot of similar things where they're connectors. He's gonna move the ball. He's just gonna do it from the point forward position. But yeah, Cade's definitely got the more of the intangibles, at least from what we can tell so far. I would agree with that. But the real reason the Magic are going to win is because of Gary Harris. So let's be honest, But yeah, no joke. Orlando has, I think, 4 or 5 Michigan guys on the roster right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Makes
crazy.
no sense. Makes no sense. I don't know why you'd want all that, but
I mean, hey, they're Beeline guys, and he's one of the greatest to develop talent. Let's be honest.
I keep feeling like for some reason it's just like an incubation for the Pistons. Like Troy's just sitting, all right, which Michigan guy are we gonna go down there and just throw a couple guys?
I hate it.
Hey, Franz. No, obviously it's never gonna be Franz, but
I hope not.
Why? You don't want a good defender and future all-star defender on your team? Come on, man.
Come on. Franz. I'm not even gonna go there. I just.
Hey, just wait. He's gonna be proving a lot of people wrong too. People writing him off. He and his brother. I mean, I said Mo was good in college, but like I'm telling you, Franz is gonna be the better professional player. And mark my words.
He's gonna be a better pro. Yeah.
Mo is a overrated hype guy. Like he's like Luka Garza. That's like.
I mean, he was good in college,
Right.
Ankle breaking
right with
crossovers.
the right team and the right fit. I think Mo would be dope. But
I don't necessarily know that is a good fit with him, and then being with his brother and all that stuff. I don't know how that's going to like really excel the talent wise, but I do think that his younger brother has the higher ceiling. So
for sure.
Yeah.
I think someone pointed out earlier, but I think we're sleeping on the depth of the Magic. To like just realizing like not having Jonathan Isaac,
I was gonna bring that up.
Playing like he, this guy's like all defensive player. Like when he was healthy,
he shouldn't be.
So that could be a big difference between what like what they've been the last 2 years and what like they actually are. Is Jalen Suggs going to take another step? I think I know my answer. This is pretty easy, but like literally the Magic and the Pistons flipped last year. Like, would you rather have? Because we were talking about this on one of the Twitter Spaces at the Pistons Roundtable last couple weeks. Like, would you rather be in Detroit situation, win the number 1 pick last year in a stacked draft where you could have got a good player at 5, or win it this year where it's thinner? And it's like, oh yeah, the Magic did that. So would you rather have Suggs and Paolo to start a team, or would you rather have Cade and Ivy? I think obviously everyone in this room is going to answer that a type of way, but it's just an interesting thing. It'll be an interesting thing to watch.
I don't think either situation is a bad one.
No.
Right? All 4 of our players are quality guys. I just think it more so just comes down to who's going to go around those guys. What does your team need? And I think both teams got what they need in their respective team.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it comes down to who's leading the helm and like what's like who do you trust, like as far as like who's the head of the organization, who's heading what they're doing, right? I mean, I think with the Pistons, and I think the other thing too is like with Troy Weaver and Dwayne Casey, there's a reputation there, there's tutelage there, there's experience there, there's something we can actually point to where they have won and done things in the past. Whereas with the Orlando Magic, I mean, can either of you tell me what their front office has done? Can any of you tell me what their head coaching staff has done? I mean, that's just the other piece of it, is that they're going to have to prove themselves in that light. I know Orlando overall. I mean, like they've done, as far as like the job they've done over the last couple of years, it's been relatively impressive, the amount that they've been able to flip their roster and turn it into something else. Yeah. But I think at the same time, if you're asking me who I'd rather have, the Pistons front office and the Pistons coaching staff or Orlando's, I'm going with Detroit's there as well. And that's just the way it is. It's not even biased. Yeah. It's just, I think we all would.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be biased, but I mean, it's not outrageous.
I think there's like I said, there's actual things you can go off of their experience. Like even though Troy Weaver, this is his first time being a GM, he has years of scouting experience. Even though Dwayne Casey hasn't won a ton of games in Detroit so far, he's won Coach of the Year. He's been on coaching staffs and done things in the past, whereas Orlando's front office and coaching staff just objectively hasn't. I think that's just factual.
Right.
Yeah. And it's interesting with this roster, with the Pistons roster. It's like, I know how we look across the bowl and talk about what we see on Orlando's roster, where their number 1 pick hasn't played a game yet. You know what I mean? He hasn't gone out there and proven that he can even do half of what Cade did last season. And I believe he's going to be good. I do. I believe he's going to prove to be the right pick. I still think, and I agree with Jeff on this, that Jaden Ivey has a really, really, really great opportunity to prove that he could potentially sneak up there and get that Rookie of the Year. Like, can he
absolutely
be Barnes of this year? But I overall with this team, I believe that we as Pistons fans, we sometimes can be biased, but I feel a sense of apprehension. Like we don't want to just stay like, no, man, our guy, our Troy Weaver, our Pistons, our Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, they're going to be like 2 lottery picks. I believe we're apprehensive. This is 2 lottery picks, guys. I'm not like just like a Jalen Suggs and whoever. I'm talking about the most athletic guy, maybe the most athletic players in this whole draft.
Yeah.
Like think about that.
I'm still in awe. Like I'm still shocked that that happened. I can't believe it.
Deep Bay exists. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just sitting here like these guys actually are proven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're sitting here like Killian, get it together. And he's sitting up here like, my worst is still like really good backup point guard, like Worthy. It's really, it's actually pretty decent. We want him to be 15, 7, and 5. But if he realistically comes in and punches out 10, 5, and 5, can hit a few open threes, a 3 or 2 here and there. Realistically, man, this roster is not that bad. Like it's not what the record indicated last year, especially not this year.
Yeah,
and I believe we might be, as Pistons fans, because we've had some rosters that we've bumped our gums over, oh, Stanley Johnson, oh, this, oh, that. And then we're like, ooh, I gotta take that was freezing cold take on that one. So now we're sitting here with these guys, and I believe, though we can be biased at times, I still sense some apprehension, man. I do, but I believe these guys. I'm gonna put it all out there, man. I believe these guys are it. I believe this young roster is unequivocally one of the best in the NBA.
I agree.
I agree. I have kind of a bold take. I've been watching a lot of Jaden Ivey lately. Just his film. I was watching him in the FIBA tournament World Cup last year. This dude, I think he has I'm gonna say it. I believe it may not happen next year, a few years from now, but I think he at some point is going to lead the league in blocks among guards. This dude defensively, his ceiling is through the roof. His wingspan is ridiculous, and he always seems to be in the right place defensively as a helper.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, and the way he gets after it defensively, he's got some things to learn instinctive wise, but just the way he gets after it, coupled with his athleticism and his drive and his fire, he's going to lead the league in blocks in a few years. I'm putting it on wax right now.
And you know who that reminds me of? And I said this during the draft coverage. I said and John Morant. But I was like, Dwayne Wade.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
He actually reminds me of when you look at him actually playing out. Like, bro, he played different in that under 17 game than he did at Purdue. I was like, yo, we got a player, dog. I'm sitting here like, no, put the apprehension back on, put it back on. But I'm really excited about Jaden Ivey, man. Really, really, really excited.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Kool-Aid. I think you're aptly named. I'll just put it that way. You're drinking the Kool-Aid hard, and I love it.
Hey.
Carry that. I definitely like. I definitely feel like that tension between the optimism and not getting to a point where I'm expecting him to be it now and getting disappointed, right? I think that's part of the issue. We see people turn on Killian like that, right? Because we had Kevin O'Connor going like, he's the best player in the draft. I got him 202. And so we come in expecting him to be ready to go. Like we saw Luka, he came from Europe. He's ready to go. Like what, and then we get what we are now. Where it's like we can completely lose any context of dude missed almost all of his rookie season with the hip injury and with the hand injury last year. And then the COVID off season and like the narrative, we just lose the narrative. And
it's understandable.
So I do think there's a piece of like, how do we, as a fan, like I'm experiencing this, like I'm a fan, but I'm also trying to have a little bit of a analyst perspective, right? I'm trying to be level headed. And I'm like, I don't want to come in expecting to win 50 games and be like, 20 games in the season, we got 2 wins and going, what do I do now?
Well, I think, okay. So when we're saying this, when we're saying we're excited about him, that he's going to do really good things, that he's going to have a solid season, that's not saying that we're going to go out and win 50 plus games. That he's going to average 25 points a game, that he's going to be one of the top point guards in the league. And that's not what we're saying at all. It's like a great season is going to also mean that there's going to be things in his game that he's going to have to work on. He's going to go out and have really solid performances, knowing that he's also going to have high turnover games. You're going to know that there's going to be nights that Jaden Ivey is going to have high scoring games. They're going to be that aren't going to be efficient as well. Like those are the things that you have to like temper your expectations. I think with Killian, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think we were really just looking forward to some Pistons basketball. We hadn't seen anything in like a year. When Killian was drafted, there was only a 3-week turnaround from the draft to the season. People saw some of his highlights in France, never actually got to see him play extended basketball. Whereas with Jaden Ivey, we have an entire season of Purdue basketball, college basketball that we can watch. And even though it doesn't directly translate, we can at least look at college basketball and know how that translates far more than whatever we see with someone playing overseas. So I think with the Killian and Ivy comparison, I think with Ivy, he's a far more ready-made player that can come in and actually is more polished day one. And I think therefore you can expect more of him to start off than Killian. But I think to your point, it's up to the fan to make sure that you're being realistic and tempered with your expectations of you're just looking for signs of him being a great player going forward. We're not asking him to come out and be Dwayne Wade today. We're just hoping he can be Dwayne Wade or something like that someday.
In the mold. You want a guy that's going to play hard on defense, know where to be, and be able to use his athleticism to be able to avoid fouls, but alter shots, because that's something else Dwayne Wade did. It wasn't just about the blocks that Dwayne Wade had, but it was about the fact that it got almost to a point that people had to think, wait, is Dwayne Wade going to come flying from out of nowhere? And you see him making people contort their shots and having bad misses, but screaming foul. Like that to have that type of a defensive impact from your guard position to help what I believe improved defensively our bigs, that's going to be awesome. And for this first season with Jaden Ivey, like Sean said, it's just you want to see the flashes. You want to see that he belongs. Right. You want to see the confidence. And I think if we had to challenge Jaden Ivey to one thing this year, I feel like a lot of people might say shooting. I'm going to say turnovers, bro. Take it personally to not have a lot of careless turnovers. Take it personally, man, to play like I feel like Cade just came in and played at his pace. And I know his turnover numbers were up, but they weren't any different than LeBron, Ben Simmons, KD, and some of these other guys who handle the rock heavy in their rookie seasons. But with Jaden Ivey, who has several other ball handlers on the team, he should be finding himself in a position to pretty much score or make a final oop or pass like he did in that first preseason game.
Exactly.
You know, that's what I want to see him do. Focus on putting yourself in position to help Cade. Focus on not finding yourself in those spots where you're making those jump passes, where you're dribbling into 3 or 4 guys, and then all of a sudden you're getting stripped. I just want to see him play composed, play his position, play to his strengths, get out in transition, catch some lobs and things of that nature. And if you can hit that 3, show you can hit that 3. The step back threes, this is the one thing I'll say for him and Killian. Let's leave the step back threes wherever they came from. I will say that.
Yep. Let's just focus on hitting shots with planted feet.
I was just gonna we've been talking about the expectations and how we don't want to get our hopes up with Jaden Ivey. The thing about Jaden Ivey is that he's not coming into the situation that Killian Hayes came into. Killian Hayes, all the expectations that were placed on him were obviously more than what he could handle. And Jaden Ivey's coming into a situation where Cade's going to be the guy. Mm-hmm. And so he's going to be in a better situation to perform, I think. So I think it's okay to be excited about it.
Right.
And I think too. I think
there's a. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I think too with our last 2 lottery picks, even with Duren, but with Cade and with Ivey, they both come from professional families. Mm-hmm. You know, Cade had Cannon. You know, Jaden has his parents, Neil and both of them professional athletes. They taught him how to be a professional from day one. He was on the court. He's been around WNBA players, NBA players. He's been on the court. He's been in the practices. So he has an advantage coming into day one with how to be a professional. I think that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Killian Hayes' dad was also a professional basketball player. So,
he was.
But you're right. Like, I think the situation is very different, right? He came in and they were pushing for the playoffs, right? And Blake was still there and was handling the ball. Like, that was the problem with Killian. And he still, to this day, has not really been given a good opportunity to get out on the court with one ball, with one floor spacer and one lob threat. He's always had to share it with another dominant guard or with bad spacing. Like, he's never had a real good chance to really do that. So, I think this year's the year. Like, I posted on Twitter my first rough draft of the rotations, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for him to get with between Alec Burks, Duren, or Noel or Bagley. Any one of all of those guys, he will get minutes with those guys. I still think he starts the season as the closer with Cade. I think the closing lineup is likely going to be Killian, Cade, Sadiq, Livers, and Stu. I think that's what they'll run off at the top. I think he's going to get plenty of opportunity.
Edge.
Say that again.
I think his defense really gives him that edge.
Yeah, Casey's going to play him because of that. As long as he continues to play with aggressiveness, and you guys see it, his confidence waxes and wanes so quickly, throughout the game, and you can tell when he's feeling it, right? Because he starts pulling out the swag. He starts, he starts celebrating, and he pulls out that
little scowl,
dribble.
looking mean.
Yeah.
It's like,
He just needs to
whoa.
keep that confidence because that's just like he's his own worst enemy with it.
It's like he doesn't. It's like that's when Detroit Killian comes out, and I say that because obviously Detroit is, it's French, man. It is what it is, but that's the Killian that we need, man. The one that can connect with his Detroit French roots rather than his French roots. But
well, someone needs to get Sada Baby in check because he ain't helping. That's all I'm saying.
Not at all.
Sean, you want to answer Scant here, man? Hey, answer him like the most like. I don't know, Shanye West or Blanco Mason way or whatever, man, whichever one.
Hell yeah, we're gonna be at opening night.
Oh yeah, we in there.
It's just Sean Murphy.
Saying like, of course we're gonna be at opening night, but also
Look at that
I saw
picture.
this photo. This
man.
absolutely goes hard. This is from that NBA run that happened earlier today.
I need
These are
that.
all the
Like
guys
this
that were out there.
sleeveless
So we
hoodie.
got
Is that Mike
Marvin,
Tyson
we
in the
got
background?
Isaiah, we got Isaiah Livers, we got Duran, we
I
got
did look
Cade,
like him.
we got Ivy, we got Bay, we got the GOAT Kojo in the building. And it's just cool to see all these guys out on that NBA run.
I think that's Braxton Key in the background too.
Yep.
Behind Kojo's head. Is that
Behind
Braxton?
Kojo. That's him.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Everybody in the building.
Yep.
I love it.
So everyone out putting
There's
in the
another
work,
one over
getting
there.
ready,
There's
man.
another Pistons guy. Who's that? Who's the guy next to Kojo?
Probably one of their coaches. It looks like a
Yeah,
coaching staff member.
that's not a player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely not a player.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but you know.
That's all right.
Man, when you say he's gonna be there, man, he's gonna have the buffs ready for opening night. Hey, definitely though. I know we've been on for a minute now. Probably gonna bring it to a close, but opening night, it's gonna be an event. It's gonna be an event. I know that throughout the year, throughout the season, we're gonna be doing a couple different things that you guys are gonna want to be involved with. We're gonna be definitely collaborating with other content creators throughout Pistons world, but first and foremost, it is opening night that matters most, bro. Like I'm ecstatic. We're all gonna be there. Hey, if we have to, Sean, I'm telling you, bro, I'll come up there myself and get you, bro. Like everybody.
Oh, I'm gonna be there, man. Believe me, hell or high
Yeah.
water. I'm gonna whether I
You
have
guys
to
gotta let me
drive-
know so I can get tickets by you or whatever.
Oh heck yeah, we're gonna have to.
Well,
make
if you
that
don't
happen.
live in Detroit, you can't get tickets. So I'm still trying to figure my way around that. And last season, I went to opening night and Cade didn't play. I was devastated.
Wait, you
so
can't get tickets? What you mean?
It's not true.
you have to live within 75 miles of Detroit to buy tickets.
Oh, I live within
At
8.
least right
or
now.
10, I mean, I'm
At
good.
least I got family, so I found my way around it. But
Yeah, that
last time I
sucks though.
checked, you
That's ridiculous.
but
Damn,
I might make it up. I might make it up. That's I would love to. So
For sure. Get a huge group photo too. And we can like
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, because look, yeah, I know Deuce and I, we got some work to do either this week or early next week, man. We got some special stuff, some behind the scenes stuff coming up for you guys. We want to let you guys hear everything you need to hear about Destination Restoration as we get ready to release that track and release the video that Carl has. He's put his whole foot inside of it, man. Like he did his thing. He did his thing, man. To give y'all an old Detroit reference, man. I had to, but straight up. And I'm just being for real. Look, on that October 19th game, Deuce, let's try and get as much footage as we can. Like straight up. If people want to be in that official Destination Restoration.
I mean, my
If you
fit's
can
gonna
get
be
some
on
footage,
point,
brother.
so I'm gonna definitely have to be in that, okay?
Y'all got
Hey.
to, man. Everybody. I need the whole Word Pistons team.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep. Everybody, man. Hey, fans, everybody come on out, rock with us. Hey, I'm hoping we can get Detroit Bad Boys, Pistons Powered, everybody out there, man. Everybody who's a part of this community, big, small, large. I don't care what people consider themselves. This is about the Pistons, yo. I remember what it was when they were selling out over 270 games in a row. Like, I don't know how many fans remember that. I don't remember. I know there's varying age groups now, but it was live, yo, to be in the building. And it's like Eminem's not there for a gimmick, but because it is the hottest show. Like our celebrities are showing up and they're not sitting courtside because Piston fans bought them tickets already. I was sitting like we're looking at
That's very true.
like in the upper part of the 100 sections.
Yep.
That like it was live, dog. Who remembers the parking lot after those games, bro? Who
Oh
is
my!
it?
It would
would
take like
sometimes
2 hours.
it would take
to
like
get out.
an hour to get out of there, man. An
It was
hour.
a
It was
party
hell.
out
Yeah.
there.
It was hell.
You might as well not even try to leave
But it
early.
was hell.
You might as well not even try to leave early.
Right.
It
It
was
no good trying to
yeah.
get out of there
No,
early.
you could try to get out of there. Like you could do whatever you wanted to, but like for
Oh.
whatever reason, even if you left, like I'm convinced if you left in the second quarter, you'd still take you 2 hours to get out.
And do you know how many people out here say things like, "Oh man, it is easier to get in and out from Detroit if they're not doing a ton of traffic construction." But have you been there on a night when it's absolutely packed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I avoid Detroit when it's like
Oh
that.
my gosh!
It's
and that's
also
what I
hell.
was expecting.
But see, if you know like the good spots to park for free, and you know those like
Yeah.
those secrets, then
Bro.
it ain't that bad.
Opening day, I think I'm just literally like parking somewhere by the midway and just like early, like 4 o'clock, bro, and just staying
See, I
down.
had my spot, so I was in and
I-
out like no problem.
You see, this
I
is
I'll let
can.
you
I
go
can. Go
sometime.
ahead, Sean.
I have this philosophy in life. I'm going to tell it to you in Kanye West terms.
Let's go.
This is what I like to call future Sean's problem. Not mine, but future Sean, it's going to cause him a lot of trouble. That's all I'm saying. And you know who's going to pay for it? Even farther future Sean, because that guy's going to get some revenge put on him.
Bro, this needs to be
I
an
like
anime. Future Sean versus farther future Sean.
It's future Sean's problem.
Oh my god.
Got the sides and everything.
Well, look, bro, you want to take us out?
Absolutely, man. Thank you all and everybody tuning into the Woodward Pistons Table Talk, where we bring it down each and every week. Whether the Pistons are playing basketball or not, we are here to talk all things
with our
Detroit
family.
basketball. And this is your place to go to because this is where the best voices in the world of Pistons are at. So be sure that you're following everyone here on the Woodward Pistons Table Talk crew. Be sure you're following my guy, Carl Collins Prod. Be sure you're following my guy, Downtown Deuce. Be sure you're following Kyle Metz. Be sure you're also listening to the Go Blue Lexi Pod. And also be sure you're following my man, the Godfather of Pistons, Twitter, the Godfather of Woodward Pistons, my man, Kool-Aid, as always.
Yes, sir.
We
and be sure
appreciate
you
you
follow
all.
Sean too.
I'm about to say Deuce. Your turn. Say it.
Yes, sir. Be sure you follow Sean too from Half Court. Check him
Yeah.
out. He got fire content. He will never give himself any credit, but y'all gotta make sure y'all checking this man out.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate. Hey, I'm certainly not going to say no.
Spit those stats, bro. 2,000 followers, and you just passed how many views?
Ooh.
in
Yeah,
a
so
few
we
months?
so from Half Court, the channel celebrated its 1-year birthday this week. We reached 2,000 subscribers, and today we reached 200,000 views lifetime on the channel. So
Crazy,
thank
man.
you all very
Proud of you,
much,
bro.
man.
Proud
Really
of you, man.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Really
Amazing,
appreciate
man.
the love, man.
That's what's
It's
up.
it's been awesome. So
And Kyle, man, before we jump off, man, did you want to plug anything? I know you got the roundtable tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Every Friday night, especially during the off season, we got the Pistons Twitter roundtable on Twitter Spaces, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be hosting that, and then my guy Wes Davenport, and I got a bunch of other guys that join us, and hopefully some gals this week. Lexi, maybe we'll get you on this week. We need some more ladies in the chat. This is too many. 8 p.m.
Okay, cool.
So we'll very open forum. Everyone who comes can talk. So it's definitely a space where you can get your takes off, and you don't have to have any clout. You don't have to have followers to come to the roundtable. So, because it's good, because I don't got none. So that's great for me. So, no, but for real, yeah. So that's on Friday nights. I also have a couple rotation tools if people want to, like, I made some Google Docs if you like to play around with rotations. Follow me, DM me. I'll send you a link to that. So yeah, and that's kind of stuff. We got some great stuff coming once the season starts. I'll just we got some real new stuff coming. Lexi already knows about it, but we'll keep you guys guessing. We'll show up, but it's gonna be so much fun, especially for those of us who can't make it to Detroit for the game. So just keep an eye out for that. So yeah, thanks, Kool-Aid.
Nah, no problem at all, brother. Like I said, this community, it's a community that I've been a part of for a long time. Some of us we haven't even been able to or had the pleasure to really meet. You know, some of us we've known each other for a while. Deuce was good. Some of us we've had the chance to meet and we hit it off right away. Sean, I know Lexi and I, we've been supporting each other for a while. I'm for real, Sean. Even tell it's not like these days sometimes are the best. And we were just, what's up, brother? Like backstage. It works, man.
No, it's just funny to think of, man, like how instant it was. It's funny to look back at like an old Pistons table talk that we did back in like April when it was opening day for the Tigers. And we did it from your house. That's the first time we met in person, dog. Like that's the crazy thing about it, man. And it's like it feels like a lifetime, dude. Yeah. But seriously, man.
When I first met him, same vibes with all you guys on this panel, man. It's about and that's what I love, man. It's just a Detroit thing. I spent a lot of time out in DC and I love my time out in that DMV area. And coming home, I spent some time out in North Carolina, but coming home and being with Pistons fans, that culture it's what I love, man. It's what I held on to when I was away, and kind of being back in the midst of it, bro. And with people that we just click with, I don't know anything really, you know, in this sports world that's better, man. And except for the Pistons winning,
right?
Hey, we'll know. We'll remember the real Pistons Twitter OGs before when we had the last decade, man. When it starts blowing up, when they start winning 50 games a season, we'll know. Yeah. We'll know. Yep. It's been fun. So
we'll remember the Jordan Bones Stan accounts.
Come on,
from back in the
day, bro. I put him in a song. I put his name in a song, bro.
Oh my god!
I went on 2K and gave him a 92 potential up on there. I thought, you know.
Yeah. I was excited for him, man. I really was. I still hope like these players that they do whatever they can, man, with their opportunities. Because I know to us, we look at them and say, well, where are they today? You know, what happened to the opportunities? But these guys get some good opportunities and they do a lot for their communities. You know, they might not sometimes make the millions of dollars, but they're doing and making enough to go back home, go back to their areas, go back to their colleges and make differences, man. And I respect that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And believe me, when all that stuff is going down, we're going to be right here to break it down and talk all about it. And with that, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time on the Woodward Pistons Table Talk.
Let's get it. Let's get it. See y'all at the home opener. Definitely.
And next week as well.
And next week.
and next week.
And next week.
You don't gotta wait 2 months to see us. We'll be here next week.
Shoot, man. Love y'all.